God bless everybody. God bless you. Welcome to my page, H.O.T.M. We're just getting ready right here to start a new project. These are easy projects. I like doing easy projects that anybody can do. It does take a little bit of preparation to do this type of project that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be turning this place. It's an old school shelving. Um, this house was built in the 1900s, so it's 120 years old. So working on an older house, it is a little more complicated because it does have plaster, and the plaster most likely has, and the paint, the door trims and window trims usually got lead. So it does take to take a course. It's better to take a course to learn how to deal with the lead, because it will affect your kids if they're younger than 7 years old. But I say they have still affect you even after 7 years old, because it affects me sometimes when I have worked and I don't use anything. So I want to show you some of the materials that I'm using, some of the tools and materials that I'm gonna be needing for this project, which is gonna be the plastic that I gotta do a containment. I don't know how many people have seen like the asbestos containments. You gotta do one. Now you see this number right here that says 4 mil. 4 mil is the thickness of the plastic. I know a lot of people don't know that, so this is for the people that really don't know that. The bigger the number, the thicker it is. You don't want to use real thin plastic because it will break if a piece of wood hits it or whatever. It will break and penetrate, and all that dust will go all over your house, and it's gonna become a mess. You do want to use a suit. You know what I mean? You want to use a very good suit, not the one that has a bunch of holes in it, so the dust does not go into your clothes. And I recommend that when you use it, if you're a male, shorts, so that way you don't mess up your clothes and walk around the house with dirty clothes. You're gonna need your goggles for the demolition. You're gonna need your hammer. I'm using a rubber hammer. It doesn't really matter for me, but you want your pry bar, you want your sawzall, and I use this glue right here. This is the glue that we use, the spray glue, especially for the plastics. I use that for when I do the demolition. I throw it on the plaster, so that way the plaster doesn't keep throwing dust in the air. Every time you move or every time that you hit anything, the dust will go up in the air. So that right there is a spray glue. I use that one right there. You know what I mean? That way it holds the plaster and everything together enough time for you to be able to trim it around. I use in my post. That way you don't have to be going through a lot of trouble. Use my post to be able to hold the plastic up. You know what I mean? That way the work becomes very easy. I use my tape to be able to trim around. I'm gonna be doing a containment. I'm following up on this video. I'm gonna be doing a containment so that way you can be able to see what a containment looks like. It's very easy to do. It's just you gotta have knowledge. Um, I got this vacuum right here, which has an inside filter. It's a 9-gallon vacuum. Because that way, once you vacuum anything, if the vacuum is too small like the other one I have, it has holes and particles could go all over the air. So further on, I'm gonna be showing you what the containment looks like. That way you can have an idea, because a house that was made before, like I think it's 1973, I believe it is, or 76. All the houses were made with lead. That's when lead became very that's when they found out that the lead really causes a problem, same as asbestos, to the people, especially to the children and everything. They learned the hard way. So houses that are older than 73, I say, or 76, or in the 70s, I'll put it, they definitely might have lead. So if your house is made out of plaster and it was built before that year, there's almost a guarantee that your house is gonna have lead. So you are gonna have to protect, and you're gonna have to do containment. You are gonna have to, if you buy a multi-family home, you know what I mean. If you have a single family home, they're not too tight, because that's your problem if you want to infect your people, if you want to infect your family or not. But especially when you have a multi-family and you're gonna have tenants in your house, you do have to take a course, a lead removal course, if you are gonna be working in your house, or anybody that goes to do work in your house. It's very important that they are lead certified, so that way they could do the proper. So later on, I will follow up with a video with the containment already done, so you can have an idea how the containment goes up. So this is what my containment looks like. Like I said, it's necessary that you do it if you have a house that is real old and it does have lead on it. So you do have to do, it's like an asbestos containment. Some people may think that it's a little too extreme. Let me put the camera sideways so that way you can be able to see. Some people may think that it's a little extreme, but if you follow the laws and you go get certified on it, you will find out that this is the proper way to do it. Now let me go inside my containment. Okay, so that way you can have an idea. Now it's all taped in, and that is how you do it correctly to prevent the dust from going out. Now if you see that I got a flapping door right here, you know what I mean, just like the asbestos containment. Now the reason why I have the door on the inside and not the outside, for the simple fact that they don't want the air going out. They don't want the air going out. They want the air coming in. If you have the flap on the outside, it will create dust. The dust will go right out that door, and it'll dirty your whole house and do its damage. So that's right. That's why the reason why I got it in the inside. Now, when you're gonna remove this trim, there's something I learned the hard way about this trim. You know what I mean? And that trim is the plaster. Most of the time, these door trims, you know what I mean, they put it right on top of the plaster. So when you remove the plaster, it will pull the plaster out. So next thing you know, you did this containment, and it is going to end up destroying the wall. So one of the best ways for you to do it is grab something sharp. It doesn't have to necessarily be a scraper. You could use a blade. You could use a chisel if you want to. I mean, whatever you want to. And end up hitting that, so that way it could break. You know what I mean? You break it all the way through. Boom. You know what I mean? I'll use my hammer to do it. So you break it all the way through, all the way around. Okay? All the way around, so that make sure that it does not pull the plaster once you're done. Okay? So I'll be posting another video once it is all done. You know what I mean? Because it is going to be a little process. It is going to take some time. But if you may see on this door right here, this is one of the things you got to look at, is that this trim, if you look through over here, you'll notice that the trim is on top of this wood panel, this wood right here. So you will notice that this section right here will come out all by itself, and the top also, and everything's going to stop right there. And then next thing you know, underneath, if you look at the discrepancies, you'll notice that this trim goes all the way up to over here, and this one, the trim finishes right here. So it's not even close to being even. So that means that this section was done first, and then this sill was thrown afterwards, or vice versa. So necessary, take out this trim. You throw a flat bar through here. You know what I mean? You throw a flat bar through here. You remove it. Now when you pry it, don't pry it just like that. Put the flat bar in and pry. That way it comes and it helps you out. If you come and you put the flat bar like this and go like that, then it is going to create a problem. So what you do is you put it all the way in, and then you pull it. So that way it could pull it nice and even. So I will post I will follow up with another video with this all done. It is easy work. It is just demoing all this wood right here together with the trim, and then you're going to have to do new trim. So I'll follow up with the video with it all being done. We'll also use a blade. Yep. Yep.
Moving.
All the way around. Gawking No. I tried it. Perfect. You keep an eye on it, making sure, okay, make sure you bring it all the way in. You can pry it up if you want, okay, or you can pry it out like I told you, okay. Now you're gonna do it gently. Yep, you see, it wants to peel right there. You don't want that, okay. You do not want that at all. Once it peels right there, forget it. Yep. Okay. Nice. Okay. Nice and neat right there, nice and slow. Keep an eye out on it. Okay. Do that. Keep an eye out. Nice and neat. See, that's coming out. See, that's coming out. And okay. So one of the things right here. Bam. Alright. See, the plaster goes right behind the trim. So it starts grabbing it and it starts peeling it. So then next thing you know, you gotta fix the whole wall just because of that, you know what I mean? So take your sweet time so that way you can properly do it. And that way you don't have to redo it twice, which is fixing and doing this. And on top of that, fixing the wall because we were careless. So taking out these trims will be even easier. You take out these. These are the hardest trims because they will create more damage by ripping these out. But these right here will actually work out better. So I wanted to show you a little bit on how to take that out so you can have a good idea and what to look for. So when you do it properly. You don't have to do it twice, right? Easily, anybody would charge you $300, $400 to do this job right here. You know what I'm saying? If you're handy like I am, then you will be able to do it yourself. You save yourself. On materials alone, I only wasted $113. So $113 compared to like $400 they charge you for it, it's a no-brainer. So, okay, so the demolition is all done. It is a work and a half. As you may see, that I have to preserve the edges as much as possible. I was able to keep them. So the inside right here, like this right here, doesn't really matter. I'll fill that in. But other than that, what my closet looks like. Okay. That's what my closet look like. Boom. Okay. So then now, the camera's like too close, but see. Anyways, so that's what it looked like. So later on, I'll grab it and I'll finish closing it up. Now I'll start doing the trim and everything else on it. So this is what the closet looked like. It is a little bit of work, but it is achievable, and you do get satisfaction when you're done. I went with this style because I thought it looks nice. So compared to the beginning of the video, I know as everybody's seen it, you see I put a coat hanger there. I still got to do the floor and do the bottom trim, which I will be doing as soon as I figure out what I want to do with this floor. But other than that, I mean, I think it was pretty good, and you'll be able to do it too. So, you know, hopefully you get motivated and do your own closet.